One of the very first podcast episodes I ever recorded was about goal setting. And in today's episode, we're going to take that to a whole new level that you're not going to want to miss. It's possible that some of you watching or listening today feel stuck in one way or another, wondering why others seem to be accomplishing a great deal while you're still stuck in the same place you were last year or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. We all feel that way in one way or another. I certainly do. And we each have sticking points or roadblocks that we have trouble pushing past. Life is just hard, and it's a series of challenges, and it often just comes down to how we get back up and keep going in spite of that. So if you're feeling stuck, I want to help you break that cycle. However big or small your rut is, I want to help you get out of it. The easiest way to get out of your funk is to start with a simple plan. So today I invite you to plan with me and get intentional for the year in a way that creates room for fun and positive transformation month after month, instead of setting yourself up for failure with unrealistic, half-baked expectations. I'm going to walk you through some easy and stress-free planning strategies and goal-setting techniques that are going to have you set up for success for 2023. I'm really excited to dive into this, so stick around and let's plan. What's up and welcome to the Speak Organized podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Summers, professional organizer, decluttering expert, and productivity-based life coach. I like to speak organized to give you the tools to conquer your clutter, live life with more purpose, and learn all about the business of tidying. Before we go any further, do me a favor, look at the screen of your device and give that subscribe button a tap for me. That will make you an official member of the Speaker fam. I'd be so honored to have you on board. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to give me a big old thumbs up and tap the notification bell so that you're notified whenever I post new content, which is every single week. All right, fam, we're gonna get straight into it. We're not gonna beat around the bush here. I just need to get a quick sip of water and get straight to it because my kids are downstairs napping for the time being. We'll see how long it lasts. Everyone in my house has the flu this week, which is, it's just so fun. Really been enjoying it. I'm the last man standing, so I'm trying to stay hydrated, keep up with all of my vitamins and supplements, eat really well, and I'm trying to keep my sanity. One thing that really keeps me happy is dark chocolate. And you guys, I have to share just as a little aside, I have to share my new favorite chocolate brand. I got this at a ladies' gift exchange in my little goodie bag, and it is the Hue brand dark chocolate. This is hazelnut butter dark chocolate. So it's basically like Nutella in chocolate bar form. There really is nothing better than that in my opinion. So if you like dark chocolate, again, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just really into this brand at the moment. So I will be sure to link it down below if you're a dark chocolate fan and you want to check it out. All right, before I get any more sidetracked, let's go ahead and dive into planning. I want to talk a little bit about why goal setting and planning your year ahead of time is super important. A lot of people don't actually do it. We're going to talk about the statistics in a second here. And I want to show you a really easy way that I have developed that's super stress-free to plan your year in advance. I'm going to help you out, and I'm going to walk you through the process of how you can do this yourself or how you can use a special tool that I'm going to introduce to you. And I know if you've never done that before, it may seem impossible or overwhelming. You wonder where to start. And this is something I love to do with my virtual clients. I'm doing a lot of these planning sessions right now. I do this every year, and it has been such a game changer to feel like I have some sort of theme and direction to really focus my intentions on for the year. It really helps me feel like I'm truly living meaningfully and with purpose. And so that is what we're going to try and do today. The question often is, where do we start? What's the first step? That is a logical question. The first step is to get in touch with your purpose. And I firmly believe that your purpose changes throughout your life. Your purpose 5 years ago may not be the same one that you have now. If you are just waking up and operating on autopilot thinking that you are a certain way or you are meant to do a certain thing, it's good to sit down and assess what your current hobbies or interests or passions are to figure out what your current purpose could be and how it may be shifting to something else. Why goal setting and planning is so important. We all want certain things out of life. We want to feel loved and supported. We want to feel confident and capable, strong and creative, basically all the things. And the way that we are able to get the things that we want is by living intentionally. We can't just wake up and just let life happen. You can't just exist and expect that things are going to drop into your lap. Getting intentional is so, so important as the first step. I talk to clients about their room and how they want to feel when they walk into a space. What do they envision doing there? Who's with them? What kind of music are they listening to? Just trying to really paint the picture. And the same thing goes for their lives. How do you want to feel in your life in 2023? What do you want to achieve? What is important to you? What are you afraid of? What are things that you want to try and overcome? And this is something that a lot of people just don't make time for. These emotions just get suppressed and we choose to do other more important things, I'm using air quotes here, to fill our time, and we don't actually sit and actively think about how we want to progress, what we want to be doing, what is important to us. And very few people actually write those things down and make it a plan to achieve them. When it comes to stuff like this, I am a big data and numbers person, so I've pulled a study for you from the Harvard Business Review done way back in 2015, although I have a feeling that the numbers are just as bad now, if not worse, due to everything that we've all been through the last couple of years. So 83% of the population as of 2015 don't set goals at all. So this is something that most of the people walking around out there in the world aren't even doing for themselves. And 14% of the population has an idea of what they want to achieve, but they don't take the time to write it down, which leaves about 3% of people that actually actively set goals. And of that 3%, only 30% of those folks go on to actually achieving their goals. Now, I do think it's possible that these numbers could be slightly worse than they were, but I also talk to a lot of people that want to do better, but nobody is really showing them how. And so that is what we're going to fix today, right now. In my previous job, I worked with kids ranging in ages all the way from 5 up to in their early 20s. And I did a lot of goal setting exercises with them. And I found that it was difficult because they just had never done it before. They didn't know what to do. They had never sat and thought about the specifics of what they wanted to achieve, whether it was short-term or long-term. They just never thought about it before. So I want to try to fix a few things based on my experience. There's often a lack of clarity when it comes to goal setting. People set very unrealistic, very murky types of goals, like I want to lose weight. Well, how much do you want to lose, and how are you going to achieve that, and what type of exercise strategies are you going to implement? Are you going to be changing your diet? Are you allergic to certain things? Have you checked out your hormone profile? I mean, there's so many different things that go into a blanket statement like I want to lose weight, and a lot of people set that as a New Year's resolution, and then it just never comes to be reality because we haven't gone through and fleshed out all of the details. So there's a lack of clarity there. And the other thing I noticed that's a general issue is no monthly planning. We're not breaking things down. We have just one goal and we're going after it, but we haven't broken it down into the appropriate amount of steps necessary to make it happen. We just set this expectation without understanding the time cost and realizing that maybe there are different variables that we need to focus on from one month to the next. Maybe we're not going to be focusing on the same thing from January to December. Another issue is no accountability. That's a huge issue for most of us. It's like 85% of the reason why goals aren't achieved, because we put all this undue pressure on ourselves to self-motivate, to have all this willpower, and willpower is not a long-term strategy. It's really just meant for short bursts of motivation, but it needs to come from somewhere else a lot of the time. And so finding a support system is super important. A lot of people don't take that extra step to find an accountability buddy. And then lastly, there's just no easy system to put all of your ideas. If you make this grand bucket list and then you're like, okay, great, I got this big list, now what? We don't really have a way of implementing that. And so that's what we're mainly going to be changing today.
I'm super excited to introduce you to the Purpose Calendar for 2023, a tool to help you rediscover your purposeful life through 12 monthly challenges to live the life you deserve.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, I will show you a little demo of what it looks like here. If you're listening to the podcast, I encourage you to go down into the show notes to the website to check it out, where you can see what the calendar looks like, what it's all about. But I'm going to take you through how to use it. If you want to create your own version of this, you are welcome to steal these strategies and come up with your own version. But for those of you who just want this to be easy and stress-free, I have this available as a digital download for you to take and customize. So the way that this works is very simple. Each month has a core purpose, and I have assigned a theme or a word to each month. I developed this through client sessions last year, asking a lot of questions about what they wanted to achieve, and I sort of boiled those sessions down into 12 words that represented those ideas the best I possibly could. So I'll pop up the page of your purposeful year at a glance here and just run through this for everybody listening. January's core purpose is health. February is compassion. March is financial resilience. April is home. May is harmony. June is creativity. July is curiosity. August is productivity. September is happiness. October is leadership. November is gratitude, and December is service. So the themes that I chose, I tried to think very mindfully about the season that you might be in, what you already might be thinking about. Obviously, November, thinking about gratitude makes a lot of sense. December, thinking about service makes a lot of sense. In January, everybody's number one goal is health and fitness related, so that's why we're starting out there. And then we go a little bit deeper and we start to implement some challenges based on that theme. And obviously everyone is at different stages, so you have the ability to set the level of intensity with whichever challenges you choose. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what January would look like, and you have 10 different options to choose from what you would like to challenge yourself to do. You can pick one thing to focus on for the month. You can try to do all 10 of them. You can do a combination, whatever really speaks to you or makes you feel like you're making progress towards whatever your personal goals are. That's what I want for you to choose. So we're talking about things like, I will drink a certain number of ounces of water every day this month. So you, again, get to choose how many ounces you want to drink. Maybe you only want to drink 8 ounces of water every day. Maybe you want to drink 40. I don't know. So that, again, is up to you to decide. I will exercise for a certain number of minutes a day for a certain number of days per week. So you could say, I want to exercise for 30 minutes a day, 4 days per week. You choose your own adventure. One thing I want to point out that I did very intentionally with these statements was I made them affirmations. So we're saying things in the context of you already doing them. I will choose a healthy option when eating out. It's something that you are affirming that you're going to do. So I encourage you, when you choose your goals, you check them off. There's little check boxes before each statement, and say it out loud to yourself. Once you have said it, your brain starts to develop that you've done it. So make it an affirmative, positive, actionable statement. And again, the number of things that you challenge yourself to is not important. The important thing is that you have a plan and you have it written down very easily using the prompts, and then you're going to plug them in to the calendar portion. And you know I love to make living your best life as easy as possible. So in the calendar planning portion of this, I have suggested weekly challenges pulled from that list already there. You can choose to use what I have written there. If there's something that's not on that list that you want to challenge yourself to, knock yourself out and write it down on your calendar. Some of the suggestions that I have for you are scheduling a fitness activity. So that's the very beginning of the month. On Sunday, the 1st of January, Google a yoga class. Maybe there's a free trial that you can go and try for the week, something along those lines. Focus on hydration the following week and try to really make sure that you're drinking enough water every day. The next one is an early bedtime this week. So maybe you're going to try to challenge yourself to go to bed 30 minutes earlier every day for the week and see how you feel. That way you're not trying to do too much at once and you have one thing to focus on for the week. That is my suggestion for how to start using it. If you want to try to focus on 2 to 3 things for the week, if you feel comfortable with that amount of change in your routine, that's totally fine. But even for me, as somebody who is used to doing this and implementing strategies like this, I really find that I am the most successful when I'm able to focus on just one thing for a week or two to really see and feel the effects and the difference that it makes in my life. So I have 2 favorite ways to use this calendar. One is kind of like a planner style where it's bound and you can take it and fill it out every single month. You can put it up on your wall or you can close it up and stick it in your bag and take it with you and use it like a regular monthly planner. But what I like to do most of the time is get out my handy dandy laminator, which they're surprisingly cheap. I'll be sure to link my favorite laminator down below. It's only $20. And grab a few split rings. I'll link those down below as well. And so I laminate the calendar and that way I can stick it up on my wall. I can use dry erase markers, and if something changes, I can make adjustments to it. I'm not married to any specific challenge for that week. And that way it just works for me that much better. So for my skeptics out there, if you think to yourself, that sounds great, I love the idea, I can see myself getting this, printing it out, and then abandoning it by March. And here's what I say to you. My motto is that you only fail if you give up entirely. Period. So if you forget about it or you have a lapse or you get sick, something happens, you kind of fall off the wagon a little bit, it's okay to take a break and then just jump back in when you're ready. Many people I talk to are very all or nothing, and once they feel like they failed, they just completely abandon something and think, well, it just doesn't work for me. And you got to remember that life is full of challenges, and it often comes down to how you respond to those challenges. Are you going to get knocked down and stay down, or are you going to get up and keep going, make some adjustments and try again in a new way? Think of it in the context of eating. You aren't just going to give up eating because you tried a diet plan and it didn't pan out for you. And you're like, well, I guess I'm just never going to eat ever again. Like, of course not. Of course you're not going to do that. And the same thing goes for practicing more mindful habits, for doing planning exercises like this and challenging yourself to doing things more intentionally. It just takes practice. And so you have to expect that you're going to have setbacks. You are going to have, again, air quotes, failure, where you need to pick yourself up and recalibrate and try again. And that's all it is. So I challenge you not to give up on yourself, even if you miss a week, you miss a month, you miss 2 or 3 months. It doesn't matter. When you're ready, pick it back up and keep going. So that is it, folks. That is how I have taken the daunting task of planning your year in advance and gamified it, essentially, made it as easy and stress-free as possible. And there's a lot of fun stuff to focus on in there as well. Some self-care stuff and exploration and vacation planning to find stuff to look forward to. So you can snag this as a digital download from the link down in the show notes or the description of the YouTube video, however you happen to be here today. It's only $7, and it's a great way to start a journey to living a more intentional life while supporting a small business owner. I have put a lot of love and a lot of care and thought into this calendar, and I would love the support. I want to know how it works for you. So definitely make sure that you comment down below. Let me know if you picked it up. When you snag the Purpose Calendar, you also have the option to add my 10-minute routines, calendar, and workbook to your order. It's part of a holiday bundle that I'm running. It's a great companion resource if you need super simple 10-minute cleaning and organizing routines for each month that still yield maximum results. I can promise you that. As long as you're consistent, you will live in a cleaner and more tidy space, which is a win-win-win. So those are 2 things that you can snag as part of my special holiday bundle for you that'll lead you into living the life you deserve in 2023. Of course, all that snazzy stuff is going to be down in the description of the YouTube video, the pinned comment on YouTube, and the show notes of the podcast. So be sure to check all of that out before you leave here today. Thank you for being here. It's always an honor to have your time. I hope that you got value out of today's episode. You found some good planning strategies. You're feeling jazzed and ready to go. And I've made it as easy as possible. Go ahead and pick up that purpose calendar if you don't feel like sitting down and fleshing all this out yourself. It really, truly is a wonderful resource that I'm very, very proud of, and I'm very happy and honored to share it with you. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and the podcast and give me a thumbs up if you loved this episode. I would be so grateful. And be sure, if you haven't already, join my Facebook group where I'm always hanging out every single week. I'm happy to answer any questions for you there and just have some general chat about all the things going on in our lives together. Beyond that, I hope you have a fabulous day and a fabulous holiday, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.